Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Minorities Podcast, your home for not-so-expert analysis, plenty of shit talking, and playoff chatter. I'm your host and resident Titans fan, so proud of that number one pick in the draft, JC. Joining me this week, we got...
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rob, the NFL fan. Just enjoying the playoffs. Playoffs?
Good evening, DJ here. Just want to give a congratulations to Jerry Jones for continuing to keep the Cowboys in the headlines, which is the only thing he cares about. Winning is no longer important to him, but because Mike McCarthy is no longer the Cowboys head coach, which I am happy about, we are still talking about them at the top of every hour. So congratulations, Jerry Jones.
And this is Phil. I really liked Jerry Jones on Landman.
I did. That's probably the best I've ever seen him in any light, honestly. So
I agree.
Yeah. And the funny part is, as hell of a cameo as that wasn't even the most surprising one of the season. And if you haven't seen the finale, oh God, go watch it. It was awesome. So,
I have not. So if we could not say who it is,
spoil it. But man, I was not ready for that, and that was pretty awesome. So
It wasn't an NFL coach.
It was not, but still a great cameo. All right. I will say it's not more of a cameo, but a surprise casting, if you will. That should, right.
Okay.
Today we'll recap how the wild card went for the playoffs. We'll talk a bit of sports news. Again, coaching changes. Talk a little bit about the CFP and other things. We'll actually look back. Something we forgot to do last week was look back on how our preseason predictions ended up. Obviously, how did we do when we made our division picks, things like that. And then, of course, discuss the division round a little bit. Down to 4 games. And, since my team's not in the playoffs, all I can think about is, football season's almost over. Sad day. So, all right. Well, we'll start with the wild card round. Rob went 5-1 on his wild card picks. Nori and Chicken Wing and Phil all went 4-2, and myself and DJ went 3-3. So Rob has the lead in the bracket challenge with 20 points. Nori, Chicken Wing, Phil have 16, and DJ and I have 12. Nori and DJ not available right now. Not sure if they'll join us later, but we'll see what happens. If not, we'll be talking a whole bunch of shit about at least one of them.
Nori and
yeah.
Mike are not available. DJ is
Mike's
very
not
much
available.
here.
Yeah. DJ is definitely here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say the wrong person? Jesus.
You sure did.
Yeah, you said the wrong Edward.
Which is my bad. I'm sorry.
Easily the worst insult that anyone has ever said about me.
My apologies. I owe you. It's been a long
How dare you, JC?
It's been a long week, let me tell you. All this preparation for that 1 inch of snow, we're have a 50% chance.
Hey, man, Texas shuts down when there's snow, okay?
That's correct.
Yeah.
We don't know what to do with it. So it's just like, all right, we're going to be safe and close everything.
Yeah.
Everybody stay in your house. Do not go anywhere.
Yeah. Which
You
is
can't
great.
drive. It's not
Welcome
snowing.
weather day. My wife's a teacher. She's hopeful. So again, Nori and Chicken Wing are not here right now. See if they join.
That's right.
My bad. All right, clarify that. Well, Rob, let's talk about Wildcard Weekend. Any surprises for you on it?
I didn't expect the Chargers to charger this hard.
Yeah, man.
Man, like, new coach, everything was rolling, and then you couldn't beat a broken Texas team. Like, what? Okay. Anyways, that's it.
Yeah, for sure. That's the one time CJ Stroud's ever beaten a Harbaugh brother, too, by the way, at any point in his career, college or otherwise.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's an interesting fact. Did not know.
Okay.
All right.
Phil, any surprises or I guess we could say regrets on the weekend? Welcome.
No regrets. My team's out, so there's really nothing there. But a little disappointed in the Vikings. They had a hell of a run, and that was kind of embarrassing.
I'm with you on that when it comes to mine because, God, 14 games, and I feel like that celebration they had prior to that after week 17, and then
Mhm.
like it just lost it. Like they looked as bad as they did against the Lions. Then again, dare I say the Lions might have given the Rams some bulletin board material.
They
Uh,
had to.
Yeah, after the end of the Week 18 game, coach of the Lions said, "Hey, we'll see you in a couple weeks, right?" And yeah, Rams were like, "No, you're not gonna see him at all." So they just destroyed the Vikings. Yeah.
That's
Wow.
funny.
Yeah. Again with the Chargers, what the hell? Did not expect that. Looked to have the pace set pretty early that they were going to be good, and then yeah. Let's see here. DJ, what about you?
Yeah, we're gonna start with the Rams game. I mean, holy shit, they cooked the Vikings. When I looked, I didn't even watch the entirety of the game, but when I did check the score periodically, and I saw it was already a blowout, I just immediately presumed it was the Vikings that were doing the blowing out. And then I was unfortunately surprised to see that it was the Rams who were just cooking them. It was bad. I mean, as good as they've been all season, they managed 9 points the entirety of the game. And this Rams team that barely squeaked into the playoffs destroyed them and is going to the next round. It's crazy. And yeah, the Chargers also. I mean, the Chargers are going to Charger, and I can't say I'm extremely surprised that they did that, but the fact that they got beaten as badly as they did, I mean, the Texans aren't even really known for defense. 4 turnovers they caused. And then Harbaugh, at the end of the game, in his presser, said that Herbert played like a beast. And I'm looking at the stat line, I'm thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? In what world is this beastly play? 4 turnovers, 3 picks, and a fumble. One guy is responsible for every turnover. But he played like a beast, though. Anyway, that's it.
I saw a great game
Ridiculous.
for the Vikings. The Vikings hate the Packers so much they refuse to win a Lombardi trophy.
That's funny.
That's pure hatred, man, for sure.
That is funny.
I hate you so bad, I don't want anything to do with you.
They like
in our
they
facility.
renamed the trophy if they ever won it. It's like, no, that's just the Super Bowl trophy. We're not calling it the Lombardi. So
What would they call it?
I don't even
Like the
know.
Culpepper?
Oh Lord.
Oh man, I swear it's like the Vikings are cursed ever since that. What was that kicker that had like not missed all season and missed the potential game-winning kicker in the playoffs? Was it Anderson or something? Morton Anderson? I can't remember.
I mean, the Vikings have had some amazing receivers and running backs
Yeah,
throughout the years. I mean, Adrian Peterson, freaking Randy Moss,
Yeah.
freaking Justin Jefferson Now, they've always had a very great skilled player group to work with, but man, they could just never get it together.
just not at the same time, right? Like when they got a good quarterback and receiver, they don't have a good running back. But when they have a good running back, not so much of a receiver. You know, they can just never have it all at once. It feels like.
I mean, I don't know if he'll be there next year, but he'll be somewhere.
He's definitely worked himself into a contract, but yeah, it was only a 1-year deal in Minnesota, and I think they have the option to franchise tag him, and they might exercise that. So
They have a
I
lot
don't.
of options, though.
yeah, so
Let me pull it up. They've got
JC, just so you know, you're right. It was Gary Anderson.
Gary Anderson, yeah. So
Yeah.
I feel like the Vikings nation has just been haunted since that day. You
Yeah, they're cursed.
Yeah, that's probably the best chance they ever had as far as a playoff run to get a Super Bowl, and just destroy when he missed that field goal. And it's like the curse that the Vikings have been living with. So yeah.
So they've got Nick Mullet, Phil Jones. So
That's crazy. I forgot they had Daniel Jones.
he went from 2-14 to 14-2.
And still out of the playoffs.
And well, yeah, went to a loss in the playoffs. So
Man.
But at least he got to play.
What else? None of us mentioned Washington over Tampa. But Rob, I got to ask how happy you are with that one.
Oh, I was Yeah, well, I was ecstatic. Like, I was like, it's gonna come down to a kicker. Yes, yes. Then the doink. No, that was great.
That was just like, oh my God. Of all things,
It was a great game.
Right.
that was a good game.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know Rob was really happy too. So, for sure. All right. Well, we'll discuss later the divisional round, how this changes, how the weather might affect some things too, because we're worried about how cold it's going to be here. You can't imagine how cold it's going to be in Buffalo. But bit of sports news, something that actually just happened today. A legendary Major League Baseball announcer, Bob Uecker, aka Mr. Baseball,
Mr.
passed
Baseball.
away at the age of 90. And to be frank, I did not think he was 90 years old, as good as he looked. So, if you're a Brewers fan, you definitely know who he is. But if not, you probably recognize him from the Major League movies. And so many great one-liners that are still quoted today. You know, anything from just a bit outside or out by an eyelash at third. So, but this was really sad news to hear. And God, his personality, his quick wit, just awesome. So, I imagine all of us here has seen Major League.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyone have a favorite quote from those movies?
I don't remember.
No.
It's been a long time.
I know.
It's been a while.
One of my favorites with Bob Uecker is like, let's to get his analysis, and he's like, yeah. Oh, they don't call him the best in the business for nothing. So yeah, it's just hilarious, his quick wit and everything. So, beyond that, in college football, of course, the CFP championship is set. Notre Dame versus Ohio State taking place this coming Monday. Both semifinals were close games. Obviously, we were recording last week when Notre Dame won the Orange Bowl. The very next day, Ohio State beat Texas by 14 in the Cotton Bowl. My God, I think, a lot of people are going to focus. First of all, everyone needs to lay the fuck off Quinn Ewers. That game was not on him, okay? Without Quinn, like the horns aren't back. The horns aren't getting as far as they are. And I think Quinn Ewers is going to do great in the NFL. What killed the game for the Horns is, number one, how do you get first and goal on the one and not punch it in? I'm sure Marshawn Lynch was having flashbacks. Number two, after they tied the game in the first half, all right, we got a 7-7, let's take it to halftime. And they blow the coverage on a screen pass that just goes the distance, the first play from scrimmage for the Buckeyes. And I feel like that play was killer even more than the fumble return at the very end of the game. Like, God, it just snoozed on defense. And credit to Ryan Day. That was the perfect play call for the Buckeyes. So
Yeah.
So now we get the national championship nobody wants.
Yeah. I can
That's
tell you
true.
no Michigan fan wants it for sure. So
They weren't even trying to score on that play. They were trying to pick up enough yards to kick a field goal. And then the Red Sea parted, and they said, "Okay, well, if you're not going to defend, I guess we'll just we'll just go in the end zone then. We'll take the 6 if you don't want to hold us to 3 or anything. Make a tackle, one tackle, just one. Couldn't do it.
I mean, the Horns brought the house, and they called the perfect play call. It was a perfect screen pass, and everybody was blocked. It was just like, golly. So, but my lessons learned from this season is this: I cannot go to a Peter Piper pizza when the Longhorns are playing.
No.
No, because
Wait, what?
both games they lost to Georgia. At one point, I had to go to like a birthday party or something, or a team party at Peter Piper. And lo and behold, yes, during Friday's game, I went to a birthday party at Peter Piper there. So I was like, God damn it. Okay.
That's a
Exactly.
curse now.
That's
That's
so
funny.
That's what that is.
So Peter
No
Piper
way in
said,
hell.
fuck you during football season. I can't stand you.
So this means it's way into the JC Voodoo book.
It's going
Exactly.
there.
This is number
Exactly.
one in the voodoo book. Yeah.
Add that to my superstition when it comes to the Longhorns.
Well, JC, you're batting 1,000. Okay,
Yeah.
You're at these places and they're losing games.
If I get invited to a birthday party at Peter Piper and my Longhorns are playing, I was like,
Can't do it.
Not going. Sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'll just wait in the parking lot. Fuck it.
I'm sick. I can't make it.
See how bad I look? I'm terrible. Yeah, I can't go. I'm contagious. Yeah.
Keeping it on the college sport of things, Department of Education has stepped in regarding the recent rules that allow the NCAA and its conferences that schools can share direct payments to athletes and distribute how they please. However, that could be a Title IX violation.
Yeah.
Really?
So a lot of these schools the athletic directors have said that they probably intend to share a high amount of that money with football players. Upwards to 75% with the football program and the men's basketball program based on the revenue they bring in.
Mm-hmm.
But the Office of Civil Rights, which is a division of the Department of Education that enforces the Title IX law, says like future payments that these are basically considered athletic financial assistance and have to be shared proportionally between men's and women's athletics. So it's going to have athletic directors rethinking how they're going to have to share these athletic payments to the athletes at the school. So, yep. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah.
I still think that if, some of these bigger teams, I still think if some of these bigger teams are like poaching players from some of the smaller teams, they need to make the school whole somehow as well. I think they need to figure out a way to do that.
Yeah. We'll see how that plays out. But I also want to ask you guys about this potential rule change that someone has suggested. It happens a lot in college football. Teams are running fast, so then someone on the defense will like fake an injury, have to sit out a play.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
One coach has proposed that if you're injured, you have to sit out the rest of the offensive drive unless your team takes a timeout. You think that would deter teams from faking injuries?
I absolutely think it will deter teams from doing that. I mean, especially if you're talking crunch time, where your timeouts are much more valuable. You know, first quarter, okay, whatever, but fourth quarter, your team's down, the clock's against you. Absolutely. Now you fake an injury, you're potentially one of, if not your best defensive player, has to sit out for the rest of the offensive drive because he's quote unquote hurt, even though he's not hurt. So yeah, I think it would deter people from doing that because I think we all know this is not anything out of the ordinary. You know, somebody stands up, he's standing there, the play's over, he's sitting there, all of a sudden he gets a look from his coach and then just falls down. Yeah, he wasn't hurt.
I mean, we see that in the NFL too sometimes, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't think. Oh, go ahead, Ralph.
Okay.
I was gonna say I can't think of a single sport or a single event where a flop benefits the sport.
No.
I mean, I think every single sport should try and make rules to prevent flopping.
Soccer.
Yeah,
I mean,
look at
hockey
NBA.
does. You get a 2-minute penalty for embellishment if you flop. So hockey at least does that. So there's it hurts your team for 2 minutes. International basketball, you get a technical foul, which I wish they would do. I think the NBA has sort of adopted that, right? Do they call technicals on flopping now?
Sort of.
Yes.
But it's not.
Which I personally think is a good idea if you do that because those technical fouls, I mean, you get fined every technical, and if those technical fouls add up throughout the year, you get suspended, and that takes a game check from you. Baseball, well, I mean, there's not really. Well, you can flop if you're trying to sell that you got hit by a pitch, I guess, but they can review that. But in football, yeah, exactly. You flop or fake an injury, well, you're just trying to stop the momentum of the offensive team, or you're trying to get a stoppage of play without having to use a timeout. So I think this rule potentially would be good because, all right, he's hurt. He's got to sit out the rest of the drive unless you guys take a timeout at some point in the drive. So
timeout makes sense because I like that rule because it makes sense. I mean, same way they have to use a timeout to ice a kicker.
Right.
If it's going to benefit your team, then it's going to cost you somehow.
That would be good. I think that could be a very serious consideration, and I kind of hope that that's something that they do. So,
come here.
Yep. All right. On to the coaching front of things in the NFL. As expected, Mike Vrabel has been hired by the Patriots as their next head coach. And shortly after that hiring, the Cowboys announced that Mike McCarthy His contract has fully expired. They're not going to negotiate. They're going to be looking for a new coach to bring it on. So, yes, that's
Oh,
what you
happy day.
heard was the sound of every NFC East rival of the Dallas Cowboys hoping he would stay. In much the same way that I cried when Bill O'Brien was no longer the GM of the Texans. DJ, I'll start with you.
Yes.
How happy are you? Number one.
I'm ecstatic, JC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who do you want to be the next Cowboys head coach?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm still trying to simply take in the fact that Mike McCarthy will no longer have Cowboys gear on. So I'm still basking in that. I got the notification when I was at work, so I immediately stopped working and proceeded to start cheering and then walking around to my colleagues who are also Cowboys fans and, hey, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see the news? So we had a nice 20, 30-minute conversation about how happy we are that he's no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody has flat out said, I want this person as the head coach from a colleague standpoint, and neither have I. I know who's available. I know who the Cowboys are talking about interviewing. Don't know if y'all heard this or not, but they've already requested to interview Kellen Moore as a head coach. And it's supposed to happen this weekend.
I heard about that one. I heard about Robert Saleh.
Yep.
I think that's set up as well, which I think would be a really good hire for sure.
I'd be happy with that. I also have heard grumblings grumblings that actually came from Rex Ryan saying he can fix the Cowboys. So I don't know how serious that is, but I've heard that. So yeah, as far as who I want to be the head coach, I don't know yet, but I'm really just happy that Mike McCarthy is no longer head.
Okay. Rob, you okay there?
Sorry. Yeah. Good.
All right, just getting a lot of background noise from you. So, another name that has popped up is Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
that would be like Jerry Jones on brand.
Yeah.
Going
I believe it.
the Sanders pair.
I don't think that would be a good hire, to be honest with you. I just don't. Like,
I don't either.
Really, Deion? He's better suited on the college game, I think. And part of it too is like, I'm sure you guys have seen that Troy Aikman monologue, I guess.
Oh yeah.
The Dallas job is not a coveted job anymore.
Nope.
And I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
No, it's not. So Jerry's turned the Cowboys organization into a circus. Yep, he's turned it into a circus, and so anyone who comes in to be the head coach, you'll be head coach in title, but Jerry's the ringleader, and he will remind you every day that he is the ringleader, and he signs your paycheck and all this other stuff, and you'll be able to stand on the sideline like Mike McCarthy did. You'll have a little hat and a hoodie and all that good stuff, and they'll have Cowboy stars on it, and that's all great. But you're not going to be able to run the team. So you're also just going to have to deal with the media circus, which is why I don't think Deion would be a good hire. There's going to be more media there only to talk about the fact that he's the coach. It's not even going to be talking about the team. What are you going to do to win? No. How does it feel to be back under the Cowboys wing? How does it feel to be back with Jerry Jones and blah, blah, blah while they're fucking 3-12?
Jerry loves that kind of stuff, though.
That's what I'm saying. This would be on brand for him, like you said, simply because the media will be – he won't even have to do anything to be in the headlines.
Nope.
No.
Just he's already there. Like, you're there, and then Deion's there, so now we're just going to come talk to you two. Oh, yeah, CeeDee Lamb still plays ball. Michael Parsons still plays. That's all cool. But let's talk to Deion.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk to Jerry. So I think it would be a joke. And I think it would be a terrible hire.
Are you one of those Cowboy fans that has shared that thought that because as a Titans fan, I'm going to say no to this shit. They're like, hire Deion, trade Dak to the Titans for such and such picks, and then we'll draft Shedeur Sanders. And I'm like, fuck you. No, I don't want Dak. He can keep his contract. So
I heard that, and ironically enough, one of my colleagues, after we had a conversation about the fact that McCarthy's gone, which everyone is unanimous on, we are all happy. He mentioned that, and I said, "That has got to be one of the stupidest things I've ever heard you say yourself."
Yeah, I mean, and not only that, to get a first round pick, Dak's not pulling a first round pick in a trade.
No,
No.
Not even close.
no.
He's no Lamar Jackson. It's just he's no Patrick
True.
Mahomes. It's just not going to happen.
Especially coming off an
think
injury too. That's just
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what. I think they'd be lucky to get a second round pick for him. He's coming off of an injury, another one that has had him sidelined for an extended period of time. This isn't the first time it happened. Plus, who's going to want to take on that contract? That is it's a stupidly large amount of money for regular season wins and
Losses.
a couple of division titles. Like what and one playoff win, as a matter of fact. Now I think about it, maybe two. I don't remember how many he has. Not enough for being there over 10 years. Is my point.
I feel like it's one. I feel like it's only one playoff win.
I think it's only one.
Win. I think it was the one over Detroit, right? That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
But no, they beat the Bucks. Wild card weekend. Tom Brady's farewell.
That's true.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The last time
Brady's last game.
Rob was
That's the last time. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the last time there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is true. So
I know the Jags are basically interviewing every successful OC this time around.
Jesus.
it sounds like the Jags are looking to go like young. Someone hasn't had head coaching experience, right? Like they haven't made a move.
They're interviewing all these OCs. I mean, Cello's on the list, but I think he's down the list.
Okay.
But, I mean, I know they're trying to meet with Ben Johnson in Detroit and
That'd be a
Baltimore's
good hire.
and Buffalo's OC.
Damn, be another good hire. I mean, they're
All
smart.
three are good options.
Yeah, I mean the Jags' offense was terrible, so why not start by fixing the offense? Put some points on the board, and we'll see what else we can do after that.
Yep.
I do know the Bears have I've set up an interview with Mike McCarthy. They requested one while it was still within the exclusive negotiating window of the Cowboys, and the Cowboys declined. So, but I'm pretty sure, right? There's nothing you can do about it now.
Yeah.
I get the feeling though McCarthy's going to have a head coaching job next season.
He will.
Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a very good possibility we see Pete Carroll as well. So,
McCarthy looks like a Bears coach.
yeah.
Doesn't he?
Yeah, I guess.
I get some Ditka vibes with just the look, not the actual
look.
set, the look. Yeah.
Which is wild because he won a Super Bowl with Green Bay, So, but, yeah.
Yeah, he could be on
Crazy, right?
the super fans on Saturday Night Live. He fits in with that crowd.
So,
It's funny.
we'll see if any of these coaching hires play out. I mean, it never fails. We'll probably see a whole flux of hires announced like around Super Bowl week or the week before or something. So
That's also when Jerry's going to announce who the head coach is. That way he could take attention away from the Super Bowl. FYI.
yeah, well, he'll get a hefty fine if he does that. There's rules in place that prevents them from making those announcements during Super Bowl week. So
He's got more money than King Tut. He doesn't care.
He'll pay the fine. So.
yeah. All right. Well, as I mentioned, something we forgot to do last week was look back on our predictions from preseason. How did they hold up with the regular season being set and done?
Oh Lord.
Yeah. So since Chicken Wing and Nori are not here, we're going to start with them. Chicken Wing on the AFC side, his division winners were Baltimore. You got that right. Houston, got that right. Miami, nope. And KC. Wildcard teams, oh God, he had Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Jacksonville.
Lord have mercy.
Man.
On the NFC side, division winners he had were Detroit, correct. Tampa, correct. Dallas, nope. And San Francisco, nope. Wildcard teams were Green Bay, yep. Seattle, no. And Philly, technically no. They did not get a wild card. They were on the division. So All right. Nori, his division winners were Cleveland. Oh, my God. Houston, the Jets, and the Chiefs.
Woo.
Yeah. And his wildcard teams were Baltimore. Technically, nope. Miami, nope. And Indianapolis. Nope.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Damn, 3. Okay. You got 3 of them.
NFC side division winners he had were Detroit, New Orleans,
Okay.
Philadelphia, and San Francisco. Wildcard teams Dallas, Green Bay, and the Rams. Technically, no on the Rams while they did make the playoffs. He had them as a wild card. They won the division. So,
You got Green Bay too.
yep, he did Green
Yeah.
Bay. So, and by the way, Chicken Wing said San Francisco's winning the Super Bowl. Nope, wrong. Er. Nori said KC. That's still a possibility. So overall, Chicken Wing had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 correct on his preseason. Nori had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correct on his preseason predictions. All right, Phil.
Oh,
Your division winners in the AFC were Baltimore,
Okay.
Jacksonville, Miami,
Come on.
and Kansas City.
Okay.
Wild card teams: Cincy, nope. Indianapolis, and Pittsburgh, correct. NFC, you had division winners being Detroit, Atlanta, Dallas, and San Francisco.
Ooh man.
Ooh, man.
And your wild card teams were Philly, so technically no, Chicago, and Seattle.
Ugh.
Ouch.
Yeah.
You got 4 right. Wow.
Yep, 4 correct.
Well, you know what? The Ravens are still up for winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you had the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. Still a possibility.
I feel like the winner of that game is going to be the winner of the Super Bowl.
There's Buffalo, Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, the Buffalo Baltimore. Yeah.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, the modern ice bowl, as it seems. All right, DJ. Division winners
Yes,
you
sir.
had were Baltimore,
Nice.
Houston, the
Nice.
Jets,
Fuck.
and the Chiefs.
I mean, 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
And
Not
then
bad.
your wild card teams were Miami, Indianapolis, and Cleveland.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
3 out of 4. 3 out of 7. Just still not
3 out of
bad.
4 ain't bad. Oh, 3 to 7. Oh.
Yeah. Division winners in the NFC, you had Detroit, Atlanta, Philly, and San Francisco.
I
And your
Yeah.
wild card teams were Dallas, Chicago, and the Rams. Technically, no
Hey,
Rams
you got
because
6 so far.
I shouldn't have trusted Caleb Williams. He's too focused on paying his fucking
actually
nails.
5. The Rams one doesn't count because you had that as a wild card. They actually won the division. So,
I was like, 1 of the division. That's right. Oh,
all right, Rob.
oh
Your
God.
AFC division winners were Cincinnati, Houston, Miami, and the Chiefs.
All right, I got 2. I'm so good.
And your wild card teams, Buffalo, wrong, Baltimore, and Jacksonville.
Dang.
Yep.
I got 2 right.
All right, NFC side division: Detroit, Tampa, Dallas, and San Fran. And your wild card teams were Philly, which is technically wrong, Chicago, and Arizona.
Man, look at the picks so far. I think he's in the same vein with his picks before we get into them. But like the teams that we all picked: 49ers, Miami, Jets. Like what? Like
Okay, well, I get the Niners pick preseason because, like, they looked like the team that was going to happen, and then everything broke.
The Madden curse hit, right? You know, so it's just
Yep.
Was McCaffrey on the,
I think he was like on the deluxe cover or something, right?
was that yeah, he was on one of the covers.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
So-
good.
As for me, my division winners were Baltimore, Indianapolis, Miami,
Oh,
and the Chiefs.
oh,
Yep.
okay.
And then wild card, I had Cincinnati, wrong. Buffalo, technically wrong, and Pittsburgh, correct.
Hey,
NFC division winners, I had Detroit, Atlanta, Philadelphia, and San Francisco. And my wild card teams were Green Bay, the Rams, and the Bears.
Nice.
wow, you
So,
got
while I had the
okay.
Rams in, I didn't have them right because they did win the division. So
They won a division, so we got 6 right, I think.
6, yeah. And then,
Yeah.
of course, DJ, you had predicted the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. That's still possible. Rob, you said the
Mhm.
Texans were going to win the Super Bowl. Do you still think
Hey.
that's possible?
I mean,
Possible.
Win it.
is it possible? Chaos is a
Yeah.
thing, so like
Got a
maybe
shot.
Yeah.
maybe the refs stop refing. Like, maybe it happens.
Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a
Yeah.
point.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, what he's saying is there's a chance, and I agree. There's a chance.
that's right.
I'd love it. I would love for that to happen. I don't want the Chiefs to win.
That's the only way. That's the only way my bracket wins. Like chaos
And-
scenario. That's right.
And then I predicted the Lions would win the Super Bowl preseason. That's still definitely a possibility.
Very much alive. Yeah.
So
I would love that.
out of the 14? Yeah, 14 preseason playoff spots. Chicken Wing and myself got 6 of them right. Nori and DJ got 5, and Phil and Rob got 4. So
Not bad. Not bad.
not too bad. Yeah. It's fun to look back and laugh and like, God, what were we thinking when you see the season play out? So
I want to know what we were thinking when some of us picked Indy. I was like,
I mean, they were looking like they were on the up. So,
So was Miami.
yeah.
oh yeah, Miami. That was kind
And
of.
everyone thought, oh, the Jets are going to be good. Aaron Rodgers is healthy, and
I didn't think the Jets were going to be. I never. Those are the
Yeah,
teams.
truth.
He didn't believe.
yeah,
Truth be told, I remember Phil saying that the Jets will not be good at the beginning of the season, and Nori and I vehemently disagreed. And
No,
We were
Aaron
wrong.
Rodgers is
Yeah.
experienced.
Yeah.
I want to get a replay. I want to go listen again to Nori testing me out about Sam Darnold.
That's right.
yeah. You should go back. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We need
You
to pull
should
that up.
go back and listen to that old episode. Yeah. So
yeah, you offended him. You offended him.
I did.
Yeah, it made for great content. It was very entertaining.
Get to eat his words next week and every week after, though.
Right.
That's true.
Except for week 18 and the wild card, apparently.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we didn't. I expected him to win the Super Bowl.
But,
All right. Well, the divisional round is on tap. Saturday, Houston at Kansas City on ESPN, followed by Washington at Detroit on Fox. Sunday is the Rams at Philadelphia on NBC, followed by Baltimore at Buffalo on CBS. Point spreads: KC's favored by 7.5 over Houston. Detroit's favored by 10 over Washington, and the over/under on that game is 55.5. By the way,
What's the line?
What's the what?
I'm taking the over.
What's the line?
Detroit by
Detroit
10 over
10 and a
Washington.
half.
Ooh, I don't think it's that close.
Philly's favored by 6 over the Rams, and Baltimore is actually favored by 1 over Buffalo.
I said that wrong. I think that Lions Commanders game is going to be very close. That's what I meant to say. I think that one's going to be a really good game.
Nobody.
The Lions
Yeah, what?
Lions are something else. I don't think they. I mean, their punters like or their place kickers about the. No one's drafted a Lions kicker in their fantasy football league next year. Let's just put it that way. He just doesn't get the action.
Worse than 25. Let's go for it anyways. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's 25% of your plays. You can either give the ball away in that play or try again, and
That's right.
I guess that's their strategy.
Speaking of
That's
which,
Dan Campbell's motto.
yeah, game time weather for Ravens Bills is 20 degrees
Oh,
Cool.
with wind chill into the single digits. By the way,
they
so
can't even give them the early game on Sunday.
yeah,
The 2 o'clock game, the hottest part of the day, where it's 24.
24 degrees. Yeah, great.
nah, we'll just give them the night game. Fuck it. That's basically what they said. So,
Bro.
just wild.
Everybody needs to see these people out here suffering.
I wonder if we're going to see like paint fly off a helmet again, like it happened with Patrick Mahomes last year. That was,
Looking forward to it.
yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
I don't want anybody hurt, but I want to see the paint fly.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I know we always talk about the refs and the Chiefs. The ref that has been assigned to the divisional round game between the Chiefs and the Texans, the Chiefs are undefeated when he's the referee.
I wonder why he was assigned that.
Oh, that's
What
funny.
the fuck?
Yeah, so
God damn it.
yeah, that's probably
So the refs are going to be reffing, and yeah, we're going to.
yeah. So
What's the line on that one?
let's see. 7.5 for Casey.
Line is Chiefs win. That's what the line is.
Yeah. So
Yeah. They'll make it dramatic, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, it's going to doink twice off of the.
Let me see what the updated line is. Okay, so actually the line has moved quite a bit for the Lions Commanders. At first it was 10, now it's 5.5 for the Lions, so quite a bit closer. But the over/under is still 55.5. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are betting the over on this game.
Over.
Yeah, so and I believe that's the only game that's indoors this whole weekend. So yeah.
Lions defense over the last couple weeks has looked pretty good. I mean, I know they got a lot of people hurt, but they've been looking all right.
Yeah, they shut down Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, they've just definitely had the perfect next man up mentality. That's really helped.
Yeah.
Everyone's counting them out. All these injuries, there's no way, and they just keep on playing. It's amazing. And now, while I'm still thinking the Eagles are going to win, don't be surprised if the Rams pull this off.
I won't be.
They look like the hottest team in the NFL. They got everybody back healthy all of a sudden, and they're starting to click. And they may surprise the Eagles in Philly.
Oh, I'd
That would
love
be
to
great.
see that just because Phillies fans are terrible.
Yeah.
I hope they're greasing the poles.
Oh man! So, shout out by the way to the Arizona Cardinals for opening up their stadium for the Rams to host. Even went so far as to painting the field and bringing in a whole bunch of Rams merch for the team stores and everything, which is pretty cool. So,
Good Texas Rams.
do you guys think there will be any upsets this weekend, divisional round?
Yes,
Who do you got?
Yeah.
Texas.
Oh, gee,
Or Texans. Excuse me.
Texans.
Yeah,
Even
that'll be
though,
the
That'd be-
upset.
even though you're
That'd be the
right.
shocking upset, I think.
I think so. And
I think that would be the most shocking one. Because the Chiefs don't tend to lose at home. And especially with this ref, apparently.
yeah, evidently the undefeated ref. But
Yeah.
The Bills, even though I wouldn't necessarily call that an
is that
upset.
really an upset though? Either of those
Teams
teams.
are just
That-
monsters.
Technically, it's an upset because the Ravens are seated higher.
That's right. Okay, you're right. It is an upset.
No, actually, the Bills are seated higher. This game's in Buffalo.
Oh, good dunk.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
well,
the
the
Ravens
Ravens are great.
winning. The Ravens
That's why it's going to be
There's
so
your upset.
freaking cold. Is they're in Buffalo for this game. So, that's yeah. So, expect.
You're crazy.
Yep.
Be a lot of
Crazy.
tickles.
So there you go.
Man.
Ravens upset. So that's the likely.
Well, yeah, we'll see how this round of the playoffs plays out.
Playoffs?
And come back next week. We'll talk more about the divisional round, see what's set up for the conference championship weekend, and see what other news pops out. See if there's any coaching hires and things like that. So, All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining this week's episode of this Sports Minorities podcast. Once again, I'm JC, your resident Titans fan, who does not want them to trade the number 1 pick this time unless somebody's given up 3 first-round picks for the next few years, a la draft day. Joining me this week, we got
Rob, the NFL fan. Thanks for joining us, and let's see what happens in the playoffs.
Good evening. This is DJ. I don't have anything witty. Have a good night.
This is Phil. I hope the Titans draft Ryan Leaf.
Oh, Lord.
Could y'all imagine the Titans drafting a kicker with the number 1 spot?
That would be amazing for anyone who's not a Titans fan.
Jesus.
Just
that
saying.
GM would be fired by the end of the draft.
End of the draft? What? Haven't even signed the kid and you're already fired.
What do you mean this isn't a thing? Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks everyone once again for listening to the Sports Minorities podcast. We do appreciate it. If you want to keep the conversation going, we're on Twitter at Sports Minor Pod and also on Facebook at Sports Minorities. Our YouTube channel, Sports Minorities. Search on there. We live stream every now and then, just some random stuff. And you can also reach us via email, sports.minorities@gmail.com. We do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to us, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Okay, let's just say they did draft a kicker in the first round. First
I'm
pick.
just saying.
Who are they taking? Who's getting taken?
Not the guy.
What school does this kicker go to? Yeah, not Brett Auburn.
No.
Oh, who's the kicker from Oregon? God, I can't remember his name now.
Fuck it. Give me the kicker from Notre Dame. That dude was clutch. I mean,
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good one.
I don't know if he's eligible, but you know. So.
Sure, like half of those kids
For
are
enough
eligible.
money, make him eligible.
Yeah.
I'd
Fuck
be drafting.
it. Just draft Lionel Messi and let him kick shit. Give me that dude.
I'm hoping the Titans draft Ray Finkel.
Oh. Laces out, Dan.